David, you've said the honor of the United States is at stake with its handling of Mr. Chen. How so?
Well, the United States has long been one of the foremost advocates for human rights in the world. We've stood up on those issues with regard to the Soviet Union. We've stood up with regard to China. We tried to do that with Tiananmen Square. And of course, the United States relationships are taking place with China in a very broad array of issues. But this one is so simple and straightforward. It is about the life of a hero who is blind, who escaped from the Chinese authorities. And I think most Americans would say when he comes into the U.S. Embassy, his protection is a matter of national honor for us.
And Nick, you believe if he has disappeared again, so to speak, the Obama administration will be humiliated?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the Obama administration had him under their protection, and he left. They extracted some promises from the Chinese Foreign Ministry, which is sort of a more dovish element of the Chinese government. Now he's in the hands of the security forces.
What do you think do you think the U.S. is being upfront when they say that Chen changed his mind?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, that is indeed what happened. Jerry Cohen, a lawyer who was really brought in by Chen Guangcheng, confirms that account. And indeed, today, Chen Guangcheng really seemed to confirm that. He said that he left voluntarily. He thanked the embassy for its support. I think that he did indeed leave voluntarily. I think that then he got really shaken up when he talked to his wife and talked to his lawyer.
David, I mean, a lot of analysts see the U.S. and China on a collision course for conflict. What is the potential fallout here?
The fallout can be very significant. I think we all remember in Tiananmen Square that young man who stood up to a tank, and the symbolic value of that was enormous. It was a symbolic impact of that was enormous for the American people. And Tiananmen Square, this is not Tiananmen Square, but it could very much damage relations. But it's a question of, I think Nick Kristof is absolutely right. We're going to be humiliated if we lose this guy. Let me just say, Anderson, Kurt Campbell, who was sent there by the State Department, Assistant Secretary of State, I've known Kurt a long time. He's a very tough, very competent person, and I would trust him to handle something like this. I do think somehow signals got mixed up or something like that, because Chen also had assurances, he says, that Americans would be in the hospital and he would have Americans there with him. And right now, there are no Americans with him by all our reports.
Right. He said suddenly he looked around and realized that there weren't any left.
Right.
Nick, he has said he would like to leave on Secretary Clinton's plane with his family. Would that even be possible?
I don't think there's any chance the Chinese are going to allow him to leave on Secretary Clinton's plane, because that would be a loss of face for them. I think there is indeed some real possibility that they would allow him to leave as a student to study at New York University. From their point of view, he's a huge headache, and their experience has been that when you get dissidents out of the country, then that tends to move them out of the picture a little bit, as long as they let his family go with him, but keep his mother in Shandong province there as something of a hostage.
As leverage.
As leverage. I think that conceivably is a deal that could be